The alien warship Ravoth Prime drifted through the black sea of stars, its hull gleaming like a blade in the void. Within its command chamber, the Trilari admiral lounged upon his crystalline throne, his many eyes glimmering with amusement. Before him, on the central screen, was the wreckage of a human vessel, the Dauntless, a patrol cruiser from the Terran Protectorate, now torn open and venting its crew into the cold abyss. "Pitiful," hissed the admiral, his mandibles twitching in contempt. "One ship dares enter our trade lane? A single Terran vessel challenging the might of the Trilari ascendancy? Do they think bravery can substitute for numbers?" Laughter rippled through the bridge, harsh clicking sounds from insectoid throats. "Transmit the recording to the broadcast network," the admiral ordered. "Let the galaxy see what becomes of Terran arrogance." Moments later, trillions across the sector watched the feed. A human captain, bloodied yet defiant, shouting into a cracked comms panel, "If this ship falls, others will rise. Remember that." Then came the explosion, a silent flare that erased the Dauntless from existence. The Trilari admiral leaned back, savoring the moment as if tasting victory itself. "Others will rise," he mocked, chittering. "Let them. We'll burn them all." He raised a glass of dark nectar. Around him, his officers joined the toast, to the end of human foolishness. Echoes of mockery. In the weeks that followed, the Trilari broadcasted the destruction across every known relay. Human fragility became a spectacle. Memes, jokes, galactic news commentary. Even neutral worlds laughed. Terrans, they sneered. So proud, so small. The Dauntless's last transmission became a subject of ridicule in the forums of 1,000 species. "Others will rise." Rise from where? One alien commentator wrote, "Earth's fleet is a relic. Their colonies are spread thin. Their navy is peacebound, their admirals cautious. Humanity has no armada left." Even among the more diplomatic species, no one intervened. The Trilari were powerful, a centuries-old empire spanning dozens of systems, each guarded by planetary shields and orbital batteries. They had never lost a war, and humanity had been quiet for too long. The Terran Protectorate had signed treaties, withdrawn fleets, and turned inward after the galactic conquered wars. They were the builders, the traders, the civilized species who claimed to have learned from violence. To the galaxy, Earth was a sleeping relic. To the Trilari, Earth was prey. The Admiral of Ravoth Prime became a hero overnight. Statues erected, songs sung of his glorious purge. "Humanity," he declared in a speech to his people, "will not rise again. We have taught them their place." Whispers in the void far from Trilari space, in the dark corridors of Luna Command. No one spoke for hours. The recording of the Dauntless's final moments played on repeat in the war hall. Officers, admirals, and generals sat in grim silence. No one wept, no one raged. They simply watched. When the feed ended, a single figure stood. Her uniform bore no rank insignia, only the silver sigil of the Terran Directorate. "Enough," she said. Her voice was cold. "Seal the footage. Effective immediately, all outward transmissions cease. Recall every ship in deep space. Activate Protocol Solstice." Across 1,000 human worlds, dormant codes awoke. Engines that hadn't ignited in decades rumbled beneath oceans, deserts, and moons. Dockyards sealed themselves shut as old hulls, relics from forgotten wars, were rearmed. From the shadows of Neptune's rings, massive silhouettes began to stir. They were not peace vessels. They were not exploratory cruisers. They were revenants. Dreadnoughts built during humanity's darkest wars, sealed away under treaties and promises. Now, one by one they awakened, and at the center of it all, a transmission pulsed into the void. It came from a single vessel, the Dauntless II. The Ghost returns. When the message reached Trilari space, it was already too late. It was brief, no embellishments. Just a voice, calm, human, unmistakably resolute. "This is the Terran vessel Dauntless II. We acknowledge your broadcast." "We will respond," the Trilari laughed. "A replacement?" The Admiral sneered. "Let them send another toy. We'll burn it as well." Scouts confirmed a lone human ship entering the outer edge of their dominion. Small, no escorts. Its transponder identified it as Dauntless II. "Intercept and destroy," the Admiral commanded. "Make it a lesson." 3 destroyers moved to engage, their targeting systems locked, their weapons charged, but then, silence. Their ships vanished from sensors. No distress calls, no wreckage, no energy signatures. Just gone. Moments later, Dauntless II appeared again, drifting slowly toward the Trilari border. Its hull bore the old emblem of the Terran Protectorate, blackened and scarred. but its engines burned with a cold blue light not seen before. The Admiral frowned. "What technology is that?" Then the ship transmitted again. "You wanted proof that humanity remembers. Watch closely. Behind Dauntless 2, space itself seemed to tear open. 1, 2, 10. Then hundreds of ripples flared across the void. Out of each came a human warship, cruisers, carriers, dreadnoughts, and vessels so ancient and massive that even the Trilari sensors failed to classify them. Their formation spread like a rising storm front. Thousands, tens of thousands. Each one carried the same insignia, the old sigil of the Terran Protectorate. The Dauntless 2 wasn't a lone ship. It was a beacon. The March of Iron and Fire, impossible, the Trilari Admiral shouted. Humanity doesn't have this many ships. But the evidence was undeniable. An entire armada, unseen for centuries, emerged from warp folds. The void between stars became alive with the burn of Terran engines, and at their forefront, the Dauntless 2 spoke once more. "You destroyed one ship. You mocked our dead. You will learn what that costs." The first wave hit the Trilari defense grid like thunder. Orbital stations shattered, fleets vaporized, communication relays fell silent. Every system the Trilari had fortified for centuries was breached in hours. Human ships did not engage in drawn-out battles. They struck with precision, brutal, coordinated, emotionless. Missiles that folded space, rail cannons that spat tungsten slugs faster than thought, planetary bombardments that turned citadels into molten glass. The Dauntless 2 led from the front, its captain's voice cold and steady on every channel. For the Dauntless. For every name you mocked, fire. Planets burned, empires screamed, the galaxy watched, paralyzed. Even the ancient races, the ones who once thought themselves beyond human affairs, fell, silent. No one had seen Earth's war machine, unleashed in centuries. No one had believed it still existed. Now, it was all they could see. The fall of the Trilari. The Trilari homeworld was a fortress world, ringed by planetary shields, fleets, and automated defense moons. It was the jewel of their empire, their capital. Their pride. It lasted 23 minutes. The human armada arrived like a storm front blotting out the sun. Entire constellations dimmed as their ships eclipsed the light. The first strike was surgical, targeted at the shield generators orbiting the planet. The second was annihilation. Atmosphere boiled, continents cracked, oceans rose in pillars of steam. From orbit, it looked as if the world itself wept fire. The Trilari Admiral, once triumphant, watched helplessly from his command chamber as the transmission came through. The captain of the Dauntless the Sun, staring into the camera, her expression as cold as the void. "You called us weak. You destroyed one ship. You thought that would be the end. But humanity doesn't end. We endure, we remember, and when we rise, we bring the storm with us." Then the feed cut, and the orbital bombardment began. The Trilari ascendancy died that day, not slowly, not nobly, but in the span of a single Terran offensive. The silence after thunder. When the guns finally fell silent, only echoes remained. The human fleets did not stay to conquer. They did not claim territory. They simply left one by one, fading into the dark. The Dauntless 2 lingered last. Its hull bore scars from every battle fought, its armor blackened, its engines flickering. But it did not waver. Before jumping to warp, it sent one final transmission to the entire galaxy. "Let this be the last lesson. Humanity does not seek war. But if you bring it to our door, we will end it." And then it vanished. In the aftermath, the stars themselves seemed quieter. Empires ceased their expansion. Border skirmishes ended overnight. Even the bravest pirates refused to intercept Terran ships. The phrase, "Dauntless Protocol," entered galactic language as a warning, meaning, do not provoke Earth. And somewhere, deep in the void between systems, a single ship sailed on. The Dauntless 2, its hull glowing faintly in the starlight. It carried no fleet now, no army, only the silence of vengeance fulfilled. Epilogue. The whispered fear years passed. The galaxy rebuilt, but never forgot. In taverns and academies, soldiers and scholars whispered the same story. Some said humanity had fleets hidden still, sleeping under the crusts of dead moons. Others claimed the Dauntless 2 was still out there, watching. But all agreed on one thing. When the Trilari destroyed that first ship, they thought it was just one vessel. Small, alone, insignificant. They never understood what it represented, because humanity had 1,000 like it. A million spirits bound by one truth, that one ship, one soul, one defiance was never alone. And when the time came, that single ship led an armada. They thought one ship weak, but it led an armada.